Greetings and salutations, maybe? Yes, you can hear me. Greetings and salutations. I am Karen Russmore, and I am late. Sorry about that. Just getting a coffee, and I've also not eaten, so that can go by the side until either I get hungry enough to eat it, or desperately hungry enough to eat it, or I go for a break. I don't know. The end of the stream. That's what's the auras. Welcome back. Hey, my cat. How's it going? So, some interesting things. The Owlcat Studios who developed this game. It's Deep Silver who published it. They've got a official server, and I actually finally this weekend got permissions to say there that I'm streaming, so that's a boon. Because it's the official server, they've got requirements. They're not very high requirements, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, Deep Rock Galactic has a server, and to be allowed onto their thing where you can say, hey, I'm streaming Deep Rock Galactica, you need like 500 followers minimum. So it'll be a while before I get permission to post on there that I'm going live. Also, in the background, I am working on a Discord server. I say working on a Discord server, I have no idea what I'm doing. Seriously, no idea. But I figure at some point I'd like to start making this more of a community thing, potentially. And one of the things is, it's all like, I want to start funneling people into a Discord server so that once most of you, all of you, are going there for your go live messages, rather than posting it in 6 million different places, I can start posting it in one or two. I'm still going to have to manually update Twitter and Facebook, but at the same token, I'm announcing so like in 6 different Discord servers. It's all like, hey, I'm going live, which is a little bit time consuming. I say a little bit. It's copy paste into just 6 different servers, but just about every single time that I go live, I forget to press enter on one of the servers and they don't get the message. Again, it's neither here nor there. It's not the worst thing in the world that happens, but having one central Discord server, as well as, other places for people to hang out, people to chat, people to discuss video games, tabletop role-playing games, or just things in general, I feel would be a step forward in where I'm hoping to eventually end up with all of this. That being said, it's going to take a little bit of setting up because I have no idea what I'm doing. And tell you honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. I'm aware of all the things that are possible with it. I have just turned off my sound, so I can't hear the music. You could still hear me, though. That's a good thing. This thing on a wire is so bugging. It's really useful because it's all, if I press this button, I'm muted. Or the headphones are muted, so if something loud is going on, I'm not raising my voice to talk over the top of it. You might not be able to hear what I'm saying, but it could just be at my end. With this button, which is really useful for when I have to pick up a phone call or something like that, where it's like, it's a quick sort of like, get off the mic before something terrible happens. But at the same token, this wire is so long that it's resting on my lap. Every now and again, I'll shift around, mute my mic, mute the audio, and then have to go fishing around for it. So annoying. I think that just about covers everything for this. So, as per the usual schedule, we're about to jump back into Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's the 50th session. That means 2 more sessions, and I would have been doing this for half a year. God knows when I'm going to eventually finish this up. But Everything is loaded in the background. The timer has stopped. That's a quick little thing. Yesterday I was streaming Cyberpunk 2077 and could not get a stable broadcast. I think this is cleared up now. But, so, yes, okay. Music is off. Get rid of that. Close up that just in case it decides to start making noise. And away we go. Alright, let's just continue. Can't remember where I'm at. Finished with that. Moved on to... Oh! Tristan stabbed me in the back, the son of a bee sting. Supposedly. And so... Yes, at the end of the previous chapter, over here in Mordecai's tomb, Tristan stole the eye of the oculus of Abaddon and ran off with it. I returned to my capital, and then I went to Candlemere Lake where Tristan was, but he ran off. Lindsay's tutor from university days cropped up and was like, yes, I need rescuing. And that was at the Old Sycamore, which is where I'm currently at. The Temple of the Elk is where I believe that Tristan is currently. But there's also the fact that barbarians from one of the clans, I can't remember which one it is, have been spotted kind of like pestering on our borders. So, I think he did destroy it. But it's like, I'm not... This is what's a little bit confusing for me. Is... He destroyed it. Why is that a bad thing? Why would I be mad at him? It's the Oculus of Abaddon. It's a gift from a horseman of the apocalypse. It should not belong on this mortal plane. Tristan takes it, breaks it. It's all okay, could have asked about it, but not the end of the world. Yet now he's gone into this depressive slump that he's like the bad guy, and it's like, why do you think you're the bad guy? I don't get it. And everybody's acting like he's the betrayer of us, so it's like, maybe he did do something wrong? Like steal it? I don't know. Let's have a look at another notification from this. The darkness retreats into the Tebrinus depths. A vision of darkness dispersing in the Tebrinus depths. A haunt of the barren streams. It seems that the second shroud of insanity has fallen, opening a way deeper into the dungeon. It's time to answer Zillaran's call. I'm not answered the first call. Trying them. There was a DLC that was done for the depths. I can't remember where it is. Yeah, the Tenebrous Depths. And it's supposed to be a very long, deep dungeon. I have a feeling that it's procedurally generated, but I can't quite remember. I've not actually read up on it in quite a while. Okay, let's go see if we can't... Yeah, this is separate from... Oh, this is separate from the infinite part of the DLC. Oh, okay. I don't know. I might go check it out at some point. Who knows? Terrible things are occurring here, supposedly. There's also pilgrims.
Serves you right.
I mean, elders are no longer really a danger to me and mine, so...
Taste my fury.
Ah!
You really don't have the AC for tanking.
Let us strike as one.
So, like, when Zamari's turn, no, she's gone off wandering around after them barbarian hordes. Tristan's down in a sticks, wilds. The group is falling apart.
You deserved it.
Sorry, I'm just going to be popping here. If Tristan isn't here or if this isn't the end of a tale for Tristan, I am going to basically be like, no, I need to look after my kingdom more than I need to trace after Tristan, so I'm going to be going looking into the barbarian thing. I hope to a certain degree to be able to sort out the whole Tristan fiasco. I can get some closure on it, because even if the game's not going to give me back Tristan, I'd like to know that rather than chasing after every rumor of him.
This should do it.
Oh good, everything's going after Valerie. I also found out yesterday, I think it was, that my new chair has been delayed. Which is a bit of a disappointment, but oh well. ETA is now early March. Like I say, it's a little bit oh well, because at the end of the day, this chair is serviceable enough, and but at the same token, it's like I kind of want my new chair. It's been nearly 2 months since I ordered it. But I suppose that's what you get for pre-ordering something that's not going to be delivered for a while when they're already warning you that there might be delays on deliveries.
Repent!
This is for you!
Absolutely mothering. Harem. I need to start remembering other people's names now.
This will hurt.
After some 50 sessions or so. Yeah, I didn't know them all 50 sessions ago, I don't think. How's everybody doing this evening? I need to push a button on this and see if I can't get some numbers up. Okay. Be nice to me. There we go. So it's just useful for me to be keeping an eye on how many people are here. I'm doing okay. A little bit tired. But otherwise, I'm doing okay. I had a stream yesterday playing Cyberpunk 2077, and just nothing was going right. The game was becoming a slideshow, just all over the show. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, but today I'm feeling a lot better about this, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm here for the next 3 hours playing it. Not bad. Sorting out links on the PC following a HDD upgrade. When you say sorting out links, is that basically reminding everything where everything else is? Kind of links. And Tabasa, you say not my fault, but somebody who instantly proclaims that when not accused. You're playing your hand a little bit too soon there. I'm friends with these people, and I know to a certain extent they've helped each other out to get everything sorted. So the exact nature of not my fault is kind of hit and miss, but
was lost in thought.
oh, Harem, cheer that smeg up. Right, I think it's this one. What's this? Death Ward. Might want to keep all of that Crusader's Edge. Let's burn that for a heal on you. God, you're an awful healer. Freedom of movement, get rid of that. There we go, that's better. Do you have a ranged weapon? You do. It might be worthwhile. Follow Tristan through the bloom. Members just reminded everybody that, you know, I do have a YouTube. It's not getting anything exclusive at the moment. I was working on a Command and Conquer remastered playthrough, but that's kind of fallen by the wayside. That was exclusive to YouTube. But if you're new here and you want to check out, hello, there's a Knowledge Arcana back here. Dark stains on the ground mark for spots of failed attempts to open a portal. Interesting. That seems like a terrible way to go. Traps. But yeah, if you're new here and you want to see my previous sessions of Pathfinder Kingmaker, so you can get a feel for the place is brimming with wild and unpredictable forces that make your skin tingle. Using any kind of magic here might prove a real challenge. That's curious.
It is finished.
Wild energies. This place is filled with unpredictable energy that interferes with your magic. Every spell you cast, either arcane or divine, has a 50% spell chance failure. Well, that's not great. But yeah, all my previous sessions, bar 1.5 of them, have been uploaded to YouTube. And are in a playlist there, so if you're new and want to know roughly how I came to be in this terrible situation, surrounded by spiders, chasing after Tristan, who was supposedly my friend, you can go check it out. I'd say that there's 1.5 episodes missing. I made a couple of mistakes in uploading. I think it's session 12, part 2 went missing because I uploaded 12 part 1 twice, and there's one of the 25 or so, episode 25 or so, around there that I fluffed and uploaded a different one twice, and so that's now gone off into the ether, but the rest of it is there, and for the most part I don't think it's a worse. Oh shoot, yeah, that's bad. Lindsay, how you doing over here? Just keep them occupied, okay? Great stuff. Nope, you son of a bee sting. Right, murder that one.
Let's
Move up.
try this way.
I was supposed to walk you away from that thing before attacking it. So many spiders.
This is where I step in.
It's not particularly difficult. Just more. No, why are you doing that? Focus on the tank.
This should do it.
Which is the most injured one? It's this one. See, I shouldn't have moved Valerie. I had control of that situation nicely, and then it's like, no, let's take care of the one that's attacking Tristan. Harem.
This is going to hurt.
Fifty-50 chance, and Octavia's missed it twice now. Right. There we go. Shoot another one, preferably one who's already injured. No? Okay.
A calculated risk.
And a coffee cup. Right, Harem back 5 feet away. Seriously, everybody wants a piece of me. Great stuff. See, this is what makes me fearful about Octavia casting spells. So like, we're losing a lot of spells from her. I mean, it's not the worst in the world because it's just acid splash, but if I decided that, oh, maybe I want to use a bigger spell,
This will hurt.
it could end up going poorly
What a waste.
and absolutely wasting the spell. Luckily, I'm doing fairly well on my saving throws. Come on, finish it off. Nobody's finishing it off. There we go. Now move
Stay
over there a
behind
little.
me.
You're in a terrible place. Every one of these is injured. So good luck and just kill 3 in 1 round. Well, that's 1. And that's not even 2. Okay. You'll be fine, I'm sure. Does Harim have... He does have selective channel. I picked that up. That's useful. The last thing I want to do is try to heal up and end up healing up the spiders as well. I think I have this under control.
You can't stop me!
It says that it's a 50-50 chance for Octavia to cast a spell or not. Certainly not feeling like a 50-50. Right. I came in over here. Shoot. Alright, let's... These are going to be Kyomas. Bonus searing light. And lose it. Yay! Yay! This is
No
awful! Did anybody pack more healing potions? I didn't. And one of them was bigger than the rest. Can you guess which one it was? It was the 13 hit points. For the 13 hit points, I used a 3d8 plus 1 per caster level. That's a 2d8 plus 1 per caster level. And that's a caster level 3, and that's a caster level 5. So 5 out of them 13 were stats, was baseline. The rest of that is 8 points on 3d8. Why I bother, I don't know. Right, so I seem to be coming round from both ways, which is terrible. Maybe I shouldn't have come in here. I mean, why do I know that that's the outside? When did I go up there?
Interesting. A trivial matter.
Large wilted flowers lie throughout the area. They look almost exactly like the flowers from the cave beneath a silver step lake. I don't recall the
What a
flowers from
find.
Silver Step Lake. So many traps. Well, that was a close one. Okay.
All according to plan.
Just want to try and finish
I see something.
scouting out the natural area, and then I'll move into the dungeon-like area.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Who is this? This is Lindsay. Nice stuff. Greatness. Greatness.
Cool it. Let us strike as one.
Nice. Oof. It has a reasonable chance to hit. And Octavia loses another spell. Are we sure that's 50-50? Seems like she's losing just about every spell she tries to cast. This thing is a beast.
Let's try this way.
Oh, come on. There we go. At least I got a decent hit in. I have a feeling that I'm also stuck down here until it's over because I don't see a way out from where I entered. Nice. Ha, you missed. Octavia loses another spell. There's a surprise.
Left yourself open.
Why is it not dying?
Do not force us.
It's got regeneration of some kind, and I don't know what it is. It could be acid, but Octavia can't get a spell off to save her life. It's not cold, it's not fire. It's not lightning. Do I have anything else on me? That's fire. That's straight up damage, that's straight up damage, that's just straight up damage.
This should do it.
Do we have any special kinds of damage? I mean, we got chaos. That might be a thing. It's not cold. I don't think. You know, my blade's cold. Right. Buster. What's it made out of? I'm pretty sure I've got. Okay, I got a cold iron. I've seen that crop up a few times.
Onwards.
Nope, that didn't help.
This is
Acid
for
damage,
you.
come on. Nope, that didn't help. Negative energy. I mean, it might. Is it something I've got prepared? I don't think I've got any negative energy prepared. Oh, I've got inflict light wounds mass. All creatures within a 30-foot burst centered on a target point within close range. I mean, that's just silly that I've got to burn such a spell for this. No, can't switch it back. It's not gonna. It's up negative like a million by now. Come on, back up. And let's see if we can get a 5th level spell. And the spell was lost. Of course it was. Great stuff. You don't have a bonded holy symbol. Oh, jeez. Nope. Scroll, inflict. I'm only guessing here, but I'm it's telling me that it's negative energy. I'm guessing that that's going to allow me. The spell was lost. Yay! One of the things is, I appreciate the rules. And one of the things about the rules is it basically reads that until you turn off the regeneration, the creature is still considered alive. But as a GM, I would reasonably argue if you manage to muller it within, what's that, moderate, which is 37, 97, 175. Okay, let's go for the next expensive one. For as a GM, I would basically be so like, yep, it's been mullered to the point that it is just paste on the ground. It's dead for all intents and purposes. Because this is a video game, and it's like, yep, it has regeneration 10, negative energy. It's gonna stay alive until the point you do negative energy damage to it. I don't think it's being classified as undead. I don't know. I don't know ball all about it. It could be classified as undead. Where's... Let's try this. Let's just try blasting it with a... Nope, it's not classified as undead, so that didn't do anything. That's another resource wasted because I don't know what I'm doing and this game isn't giving me any hints other than maybe it's something to do with negative energy. And that's pretty much one of the few elements that I've not thrown at it yet. Oh! And I miss. Oh my word, I missed. Nope, that didn't do anything to it either.
Cool off.
So I've just wasted... What did I waste? I wasted a 5th level spell that failed because of this environmental thing. I then wasted 2, 3, 4 scrolls? 4, maybe 5 scrolls in getting some negative energy to go off. I also wasted a channel to see if that would work. And absolutely nothing. And I don't know what might be able to get rid of this thing. So I'm going to have to go with my other gut feeling, which is run away. Well, actually, no. I've got one last thing that's a maybe. Let's try the adamantine. Adamantium, whatever it's called. It's just so ridiculously frustrating. Especially the amount of resources having to throw at this just to find out.
Stay behind me.
Nope. It's not adamantine. Come on. Go defuse that trap. Might as well try to get some experience out of it. Everybody else, run away! No. It's not allowing me to disarm the trap either. Should have broken line of sight with it by now. So hopefully this thing is going to let me out of combat with it. How many other elements? I mean, I could have tried healing it, I suppose. But it didn't flag up as undead, so don't know whether that's going to count or not. Yep, lost another spell trying to get out of there. Do. Okay, it's dropped off the initiative tracker. Well, it popped back onto the initiative tracker. That was a fireball. Luckily nobody got hit with. Come on, Lindsay. Okay, there we go. 20 rounds later. Bup kiss to show for it. This place is brimming with wild, unpredictable. Okay. Okay, it dies off as soon as I get in here. That's a good sign. There's red caps around. Ooh, nearly.
A trivial matter.
Give the order.
Critical hit for no points of damage. Woo! Need to get Valerie's shield back in. Yeah, man. See, I don't mind games being difficult, but as long as it's not impossible like that. Impossible without me going away and looking up how to get rid of a primal shambling mount. Then I come across the red caps who are pretty damn tough. At least they're beatable. He says hoping to be able to kill at least one of them before something terrible happens.
Taste my fury.
There we go.
A calculated risk. I didn't even break a sweat.
Not bad amount of damage there. So what does everybody else think? They think that games should, you know, because I appreciate when it comes to tabletop games, it's all like, you've got the GM there who can make on-the-spot decisions and provide little reminders to players. Like, you know, one of the things that you want to do is consider alternative types of damage.
I need to catch my breath.
For example, you know, in Pathfinder Starfinder, cold damage to undead. Well, it's not an enemy.
Oh, look!
Oh, look at what? Is that that? Oh, what's that? Strange, I used to have this textbook just like the one on this shelf. An old bookcase crammed with dusty tomes. Many of the books have been ruined by mildew and water. Fairy Tales of Avestan. Looks, there's lots of children's books here. Crude drawings cover the side of the bookcase. Someone also began carving a word but never finished, so all you can read now is AR. I checked and reinforced all protective spells I could. They may not be enough. I remind you again that the criminal is cunning and very strong. I recommend changing the guards every 6 hours. Wardens should receive a thorough briefing, including recommendations on maintaining the magical barriers, and they should be well rested and ready for anything. In the case of a prisoner's apparent death, they must remain vigilant. Even after death, this creature could find a new incarnation and continue to bring evil into the world. So this is a prison, and whatever was being kept in here is no longer in here. Secret overlords, the essence of the world order. Don't really feel like reading it right now. Ooh, a new robe. Robe of a true master. This robe grants the wearer plus 5 deflection bonus to AC, spell resistance 18, resist plus 4 resistance to all saving throws, and plus 2 to spell penetration. That is robes of a true master. Let's have a look at your inventory, because you're wearing, see, that's a plus 5 armor bonus. Ooh. Yeah, that's... The other robes are okay, but these are better. I think. Yeah, 22 to 25. A cloth wearer wearing absolutely no armor, getting a 25 AC. It's actually slightly better than most of the other people in this group. There's only one person. How are you the tankiest? I mean, your hit points don't say tank, but your AC does. And your touch is better, and touch is better than Valerie's. I mean, that's the only thing that'll save her, but... Yeah, so back to bitching and moaning. When it comes to a tabletop, if
I see something.
the players get frustrated and don't know what else to do, the GM can be like, have you tried all different types of damage types that there
And
are?
then our leader charged forwards. Hey, wait for me.
I touched the wrong thing.
Let us strike as one.
You need to switch out your weapons.
You can't stop me.
This is going to hurt.
You're gonna
This
walk
will
up and it's
hurt.
gonna explode. Which is why I started firing the other way.
This is where I step in.
Minimal damage, but that's okay. Walk away, shoot it in the crossbow. And then if the players can't figure out which damage type they're missing, you know, they can look it up in the books, and or, you know, some GMs might not want you looking it up in a book. But at the same token, they could be like, yeah, you might want to look up the list of all of them and see what you've tried, see what you haven't tried. And then finally, you know, the GM can also get a little bit frustrated at the whole situation and be like, yeah, you need to use this. You need to use a healing spell to kill this bad guy. And it's like, oh, completely did not think about that. Because positive energy is actually also a damage type. Usually reserved for undead, but it's still technically a damage type. Behind the mysterious door, that opened with a loud and creepy groan, there was a dark room, far less spacious than the main hall. Along the walls there stood densely packed bookshelves filled with musty tomes and frail scrolls and centuries upon centuries of dust. The silence within the room was so thick, almost ominous. No, in fact it was really ominous. Now did our hero dare to disturb the peace of this dusty archive. The dusty table by the far wall didn't escape our notice. Whoever used to work at this table, they weren't neat, and the wooden desk was buried underneath piles of papers, scrolls, and notes. Some of them crumbled into dust at touch. Others were in better condition, but proved to be rather boring and useless. However, under the pile of papers we found something curious. A thick notebook filled with notes in small handwriting and strange diagrams. The illustrations depicted an iron golem, a huge and powerful war machine created to protect the fortress. Looks like these notes were made by the creator of this mechanism. As it turns out, someone's sleepless nights over the books weren't a waste. After careful examination of the notes, it became clear the Dwarven Master was describing his mechanisms in detail with the intention to pass on these instructions to others. Guards, perhaps? Turned out controlling a golem was extremely easy. All you had to do was utter the words "Karsor get" in a loud voice. After we shut the notebook and sorted through the other papers one more time, we stepped back from the table. It seemed that the top of the shelf of the bookcase was used as a storage. The piles of papers seemed to be heaped there without a thought. Carefully holding a huge clump of papers and helping each other set them down, we managed to clear the contents of the shelf and explore it more carefully. Among the rotting books, we found several spell scrolls in good condition. I wonder who could hide magical scrolls in this gloomy fortress. Alas, some mysteries defy being solved. After we were done with the makeshift storage, we went back to exploring the secret room. Items received: 2 scrolls of lead blade, scroll of protection from chaos, communal, scroll of stoneskin. We hurriedly explored the bookcases. We started sorting through the old books, trying to find something of use, but the attempt to disturb history without incident failed. As soon as we removed the first tomes off the shelf, an avalanche of dust came down upon us. Ignoring the dust, we continued to explore the shelves. True heroes cannot be stopped by a little dirt and grime, or even residues 5 times older than us. The search ended with an unexpected success. Although the rotting books and scrolls were found among the rotting books and scrolls, we found a heavy tome in good condition. It described the art of engineering, emblazoned with marks of marks of the ones who constructed this fortress. It was a true guide to dwarven fortifications, an excellent source of knowledge for our own projects. After sorting through the rest of the books to make sure we didn't miss anything of value, we left the bookcase alone. Having decided not to bother the ghosts of the past anymore, we left the ancient tombs alone and returned to the library. That's dead end, isn't it? Yes. How long am I slowed for? 8 more seconds, okay. Don't really want to open the door while still slow.
In due time. Interesting.
Bum, 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 bum.
Lost.
We have taken the second bridge and the second hall. We have barred the gates but cannot hold them for long. The ground shakes, drums in the deep. We cannot get out. They are coming. Oh. Taran's dead.
This should do it.
Not permanently. For better or worse. But we have no healing. Yes, Geostation, I recognize that as a quote from Lord of the Rings. I think it appeared in one of the movies.
You deserved it.
I'd say one of the movies. Fellowship of the Rings. So yeah. Have you just arrived, Geostation? Did you miss the impossible to kill monster? I have missed the impossible to kill monster. Basically, I've been tenting on about it for a while now. It's not a very interesting fight. That's one of the other annoying things. It's like it looks to be a monster in the back of a cave with very little purpose other than to be another encounter.
Cool off.
It's a primal shambling mound that I managed to knock out within a few rounds. Only problem is it's got regeneration 10 and I don't know what turns off that regeneration. So the game refuses to classify it as dead despite having thousands of hit points of damage. I say thousands, it's... I don't know, it could be 1,000 by the time that I finish messing around just trying to murder it outright.
I need to catch my breath.
A couple of these. But I wasted so many resources trying to defeat it. I have issues with shambling mounds as it is. After the first big encounter in the first proper campaign I played them. I don't remember throwing a shambling mound at you. I might have done.
It is.
Are we talking in the bottom of a death house? On a damp sheet of paper there are pictures of sun, trees and a glade filled with flowers, all drawn by a child's hand.
My search was not in vain.
Yeah. Khalid tribal fetish. Crumpled piece of paper is covered in... This crumpled piece of paper is covered with charcoal sketch of a gloomy building with a huge lock on the gate. Someone hid a pillowcase beneath the sheets. It's rotten, stuffed with various things. A broken children's toy covered by mold. Of course, the boom of doom was far worse of an enemy. I don't recall the Boom of Doom. I mean, I remember there's some chanting going on. Oh, the broom. Yes. Ironically, it's one of them where it's like, it shouldn't be a tremendously terrible encounter, the brooms. But the number of people who fall victim to them.
Stay behind me.
Why is that one slowly creeping forward?
Taste my fury.
I think I'm going to have to put Harem at the back because things keep targeting him.
A calculated risk.
Alright, it's against a level 3 party and it was equally devastating. I mean, yeah, the number of times that I've heard of the animated brooms just being absolutely devastating.
Let us strike as one.
And they don't seem that powerful on paper. I think it's some kind of very, very obscure. The players do not take it seriously. And somehow that affects the narrative. Where it's like, oh, it's just a broom, grab hold of it, and then it beats you up because you grab hold of it.
Is going to hurt.
I think they may be actually enchanted. It just seems strange to me that, you know, one of the few creatures that you just about always hear well, you've just made yourself a primary target, so you're gonna die, cat. Eventually. Somebody's going to kill you. There we go.
Do not falter.
Funny how it's so slowed down because this thing cannot be sneak attacked. Come on.
This will hurt.
There we go. Not immune to crits though. That's a good sign. Secrets of Numera.
I did it, but to what avail?
A crude altar to Gorum has been erected on the remains of a Torag temple.
A trivial matter.
The Paragon of Defenders. This helm increases the wearer's AC by 2 and gives +3 persuasion checks to intimidate. If the wearer's allies fall unconscious from damage, the wearer takes a -2 penalty on attack rolls and skill checks for as long as they are farther than 10 feet away from the fallen ally. I mean, it's just a +2 bone. Oh, wait, no. You're wearing the hat. And if you're not wearing the hat, you're a little bit overburdened. But that will actually put you up to a 41. Is there anything I can do about the weight? That's a question, because I don't think there is. Not without increasing in strength. Yeah, always just that little bit short, and the encumbrance is painful because of the -10 speed more than anything else. I mean, the disadvantages to the skills, mobility, athletics, and stealth, it's a little bit of a pain. There's some specific magic going on there. Not sure what you're talking about. Unless it's just a broom still. Shoot. Come on. You're sticking with a top hat, but somebody else can have the helm. No, headband of mental perfection. See, that's still useful. Oh yeah, the terms and conditions of the magic item that you just picked up. I mean, yes. It's very specific, but it's an interesting one. Basically, it's like you are the paragon of defenders. You will not fall. And if you allow anybody else to fall, you feel bad about it. You don't have a helm. Here, have a helmet and get some more AC. It looks a little bit strange on somebody who's wearing chainmail, but we're just going to go for it.
Surprises.
The collapsed ceiling has blocked this passage. Let's try the stealth malarkey. Finger of Death, success. 18 points of unholy damage. Just glad that we didn't fail. I should be joining you for Thursday, Friday streams this week. There's a fair bit. I should be joining you for Thursday, Friday streams this week. There's a fair bit to do for my paddling friends. Oh, your paddling friends. I couldn't quite read it at first, and it's like Paddington friends?
Matter.
You're a big fan of the bear? You going down south for a bit? I don't know. I'm confused.
It is finished.
Unicorn's horn. This ivory twisted horn seems to glow softly. You can go away, you can go away. And you can be quiet. The Paddington friends never pay you on time, so you cut them off. I mean, fair enough. A detailed map of Numeria covered with markings. So that was a dead end. Stairs going upwards.
The end draws near.
We're almost out of healing until we can rest up. I mean, this room seems like a terrible idea. Oof. I'm getting mullered.
Let's try this way.
Bum ba bum ba 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 bum. Shouldn't you have level 5 spells by now? Oh, shoot. Another acid pit, sure, why not? We'll take another acid arrow. You do have level 5 spells.
Yes.
Any last wishes?
The bugs are sure thick today. What is your attack bonus? 19s, all across the board. Great stuff. I got a 23 in AC. I need you to die, if that'd be useful. Thank you. So if you could also perish, that would be great. Oh yay, the other one runs up and starts chewing on me. Completely ignoring the tank that I put forward. Can't say I'm enjoying this dungeon. Something die, I'm not entirely sure anymore. No, you do actually have it revive, don't you? I could have brought Harren maybe back to life. I totally forgot.
Onwards!
Could you
This
die?
should do it.
Thank you. No, this is where we're currently looking for him. So, after the last session, as it were, where we went looking for the Wayward Cleric over in the Candlemere Lake. After that, he seemed to
This is where
escape
I
to the Temple of the Elk. At the Temple of the Elk, I found a portal that
Your
led to
life ebbs low.
here. And there were things to be killing. There's loot over there apparently, and I don't know what it is, because that's where the primal shambling mound is that I cannot kill. I've not been this way. I think this is the exit. I think I know roughly where I might... I think I know where I am on the world map. So... just thinking about it, it's like I couldn't understand why I could see this. But I think I've just remembered. Back of a season, a tail end of... No, it was the end of Stolen Lands. You got your just reward, which was meet the nymph in her verdant chambers. Turns out to be a trap. This is the abandoned keep, but where you go to the verdant chambers, and it's an ambush, and you gotta be really careful at trying to get out of there. You eventually make it out of there. I ran back to my town, grabbed my party, ran back here, cleared out the courtyard, but then went through some double doors into what I think is this area. This door is locked from the inside, meaning that it was impassable. Yeah, the Hydra, the Owlbear, I'm pretty sure there's a Crimea in there, and also the Venus Flytrap of Doom.
What a waste.
Cool it.
And so potentially Tristan has been working for the Dryad all of this time, I don't know.
A calculated risk.
I was speaking on this earlier
Let
because
yourself open.
as far as I can make out, the room you got blasted by traps. Did I get blasted by traps in a room? I'm trying to remember if I've been blasted by traps in a room.
Cool off.
You're very possibly right. I mean, I play this weekly. I play it Tuesdays and Thursdays. It gets to Tuesday after the Thursday, and it's like no idea what I was doing before this. So if anybody cares to remind me, that'd be great. And then I start loading it up, and it's all starts slowly coming back to me. What, when, and where certain effects have happened.
Become as dust.
I mean, I suppose to a certain degree, this is one of the better things about me playing. You know, if I was to play this game again naturally, without using too much meta knowledge, I'd be great at that because I don't remember squat most of the time. Yeah, benefit of having the binge watching to catch up. Although still, that was like 3 months, nearly 2 months ago now that you finished off binge watching to catch up. There's still one more in the pit. pretty sure you've got some degrees of healing. Yeah, cure moderate wounds.
Yes. Ox. Yes.
Yeah, why are you doing that as a 5-foot step? Screw it, use the heal. This'll do it. Ta-da! 116 points of healing. One spell. No, there's still more of them in the pit. Nope, nope, nope.
Repent.
Taste my fury.
How's the tiefling been doing at picking up Tristan's slack? The tiefling isn't picking up Tristan's slack. Harem's picking up Tristan's slack. The tiefling's picking up Amory's slack because she's still out scouting the barbarians. The tiefling's doing okay. Harem is awful. As a healer. Just absolutely useless, if you ask me. I mean, he's got the heal, which just healed me up 100 and odd hit points, but Tristan would have done it better. As for dealing damage, she's doing okay. I've not really made use of many of her fancy abilities. Just the basic ones so far. But the damage she's outputting is respectable. Is there anybody who needs healing? No, there isn't. Yeah, cure Octavia. Why not? Oh, there he is. No, I didn't manage to kill the mount. I have no idea what damage type I'm supposed to do against that mount. I was ranting on about it for quite a while. It's like, I have no idea. I wasted a few spell scrolls trying to cycle around different things. The only thing, thinking back on it, yeah, I tried harm. I burnt all my light harm, my moderate harm. All I've got now is serious and critical. Or wounds, anyway. Is that the one you mean? I don't think there's a harm. I tried channeling. I tried the inflict light wounds on it. Why is this still going off? You shouldn't be going off any further. Sorry, I have to sort something out. I need to double check something. Yes, that's okay. Sorry. Okay, that could be dealt with at a later time. Harm is its own spell counterpart to heal you just used. No, I don't. Yeah, I didn't try a harm. I don't have a harm prepared. I don't think. Oh no, I do have harm prepared. But harm charges the other subject with negative energy and deals 10 points of damage per caster level. Which is negative energy spreads out in all directions from the point on origin, dealing 2d8 points of damage plus 1 per caster level. Maximum 30. What? How do you have a maximum of 30 when anyway. So yeah, it's the same damage type as far as I'm aware. And that did nothing for me. You know, I didn't explicitly try harm, whether I'm supposed to only use harm, I don't know. But that would seem very... That would make me even more annoyed at the situation, because it's like I could not figure out what I'm supposed to use to do this. The game doesn't give me any clues because I couldn't identify it while in combat.
That is not far.
And it's just one of them where it's like, oh, there's an iron golem there. Hello. As the word is spoken, the iron golem comes alive. The mechanisms that were still a moment ago start to tremble. Its hinges creak, and the golem begins to move. Master protection mode enabled. And activated. Training dummies covered with marks that made by what looks like to be a wooden sword. So yeah, if it is harm, then I'd be really annoyed because that's a high level spell. And also the other thing that was frustrating me was in that area there's a wild magic field, meaning that any spell you use has a 50% chance of failure. Inflict light wounds. 4 to 5 scrolls it took before it finally went, yes, that's okay, you can cast a spell. It's like, how much resources do you have to waste at this just to get it to work? And then when I finally got it to work, it did nothing. That room looks poisonous.
Don't hesitate. Here.
This place is more traps than floor. You can say that again.
Let us strike as one.
Pretty sure I attacked one of them. And I've done a couple of points of damage. Right, this is Lindsay. Move up and murder! Octavia, murder! Any lore on the red caps? I mean, what I know or what the game knows. I've not been told anything by the game. What their deal is. So, as you can probably hear by the game audio, whenever they attack, you hear this rattling beyond their weapon. You might have noticed. There are two telling parts of looked it up. You may need to hit it with multiple negative energy attacks and disintegrate. It also said work. I don't have that kind of resources. I don't know what it's protecting. It's one of them where it's like maybe at some point if one of my concerns at the moment is actually this is a dungeon and I can't rest. So it's not like I can go away and I could go into Tarim's list and be so like, okay, everything is going to be inflict light wounds. Everything's going to be inflict moderate, and I can just keep pounding on them until something hits. I think Octavia's got disintegrate. Only it's a level 6 spell, and she's not got access to level 6 spells yet. Caster level is 9, caster level is 12. So maybe in a couple of levels she'll get access to them. And with the area that it's in, it's like the 50-50 split. It's like it should. See, the way that regeneration works, as far as I'm aware, is like if it's got regeneration, it lives. If you hit it with something that it's counterpointing energy type, fire and acid for trolls, negative energy supposedly for this creature, it turns off that regeneration. If it gets to their turn and they can't regenerate and they have suffered massive damage, which it had done at this point, it dies. And the fact that it's like, oh, I've got to hit it with harm, I've got to hit it with disintegrate, I've got to hit it with multiple spells, while in an area where there's only a 50-50 chance of the spell working. I burnt 4 or 5 scrolls just trying to get one off for it to see if it worked. That fight was annoying. I mean, it might have been protecting something of interest, but right now I'm so like, I'm annoyed at it. But yeah, red caps. They've got 2 identifying features. One is a red cap. We'll get more on that in a moment. Their other identifying feature is actually the boots they wear. The boots being, ow, that hurts. Stop stabbing the rogue. Is their iron boots that they wear. I don't know how they get on and off iron boots, but they wear iron boots. And they come from the Fey realm. They're related to pixies, closer than they are fairies. Although from the first world or the Fey realm, whichever system you want to listen to, the lore between fairies and pixies is roughly the same. It's just 2 sides of the same coin. Their caps are wool, stained red with the blood of their enemies. I say enemies because they just like killing. They'll kill anything that gets close to it. They're rather sadistic. Or is it masochistic? I'm pretty sure it's sadistic.
You deserved it.
And more often than not, they're just actually just quite annoying. And this one's hiding around the corner, which is a pain in the ass.
Cool it.
Let's spread out a little bit. Huh, you missed. I have no idea what these guys' defenses are like. Because apparently I can't make a identifying check to save my life. From what, yeah, it's, I'm pretty sure it's sadistic.
An expected
I just
outcome.
always get sadistic and masochistic mixed up in my head. They like inflicting pain. There we go.
As it should be.
Do 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 do. Crystal ball, hands full of gems. Black linnorm stew. I love the way that it's like linnorm is the difficult part of that to acquire. The wyvern meat, that's not a problem. Learn it before I forget that I have it. Sort this inventory out. Can't really remember much else about raid caps. I have a feeling there's something related to babies. Like red caps are maybe the production are produced from when pixies steal babies and take them back to the first world, and that's how new red caps are created. Of course, canvas sleeping bags are much newer than the rest of the items in the room. How am I doing? It's still that door back there, maybe. Right now, I'm just trying to find a way out of this place.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Esmith, Axel, yes. Esmith, Axel, yes. Esmith, Axel, yes.
The thing I always wanted to know is what kind of things do these creatures do? Oh. The thing I always wanted to know is what kind of thing do these creatures' day look like? What's the day in the life of a red cat look like? Just having a look, nosing through Forgotten Realms lore, apparently they need to kill to keep living. That informs a lot about their daily habits and explains why. Yeah, that's a little bit of something. It's like if their cap ever dries out, they die? Question mark? Something like that. And therefore they go around killing and making sure that their cap never dries out. That rings a bell. Which again, you know, like you say, it's like, it does do a lot for explaining the day in the life of a red cap. It's like, woke up this morning, didn't have any prisoners, had to go look for something to kill. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit frustrated that the door's locked. Absolutely no indication where the bleeding key is for that. Try going back here. I think that's... So you're just looking at the map there, although that could be related to this. The thing is, it's creatures like that that, you know, I feel
Trivial matter.
Well, it is done.
the odd-shaped stones are petrified rats shattered into pieces by someone or something.
You're but a footnote in our story.
Oh. Mimics. I mean,
Taste my beauty.
mimics.
Any last wishes?
But yeah, redcaps, they're, you know, I appreciate that this is fantasy and, you know, not everything quite adds up when it comes to a fantasy setting.
This should do it.
But, you know, you look at creatures like vampires, and one of the things about vampires is you often hear about how they don't just go around
Your
on
life
murderous
ends
killing
now.
sprees. Despite their constant need for blood, they stick to the shadows. They tend to try and keep a low profile. They're immune to acid damage. Okay, that's good news, Octavia. You're
Is
now
going
useless.
to hurt.
I mean, she's not completely useless, but when she can't hit so often with an acid splash, then did the mimic just sound like a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very much stealth predators because, you know, if you go away to the World of Darkness, I think the setting is, which is Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf, and a bunch of other tabletop role-playing games. The vampire variant of that game is literally called Vampire the Masquerade because one of the core tenets of being a vampire in that world is you must obey the masquerade. Emeralds, rubies, diamonds. It's all just junk for the box. Maps. Badish. Okay, that was just a loot room and mimics. Everybody loves a good mimic. And in the masquerade, it's like you have to behave like vampires don't exist, even though you're a vampire. You have to be careful. You have to be cautious. You're not allowed to let humanity know that vampires are real, because the moment
All according to plan.
they know that it's real, it's the moment they really start hunting you down. And there's more of them than there are of you. And one of the problems is it can never be the other way around. Because if there's more vampires than there are humans, then there's a food supply issue. And that is very bad
This is where I step
when
in.
you're a vampire. So you can't just go around
Let us strike as one.
killing willy-nilly, using all your vampiric powers and letting society know
This will hurt.
that vampires are real. Now, look at the red cap, for example. How long does it take for blood to dry out? I would say the blood, thanks to a lot of its congealing agents and, you know, the clotting of blood, it dries out fairly quickly. I mean, I've never tried leaving a pint of blood on the side and seeing what happens. I just
Serves you right.
not interested in that kind of thing. But based off that and because of that, the red caps will be having to kill daily. Yeah, I mean, I usually put them in... The thing is, they're usually in sealed containers, not running around, you know... Because if you put it on your head... If you put the blood in your hat and put it on your head and you're running around, it's going to dry it out by air currents. It's just going to dry it out a lot faster than if you put it in a sealed container and put it in your fridge. That's just physics for you. Whereas, you know, one of the things, you know, nothing worse for a red cap. So, by that argument and necessity, aren't red caps really obvious? That's interesting. So we've got the Defender's Bulwark, which is a +3 enchantment, which is better than the +2 enchantment. And the Colossal Shade gives +3 bonus on saving throws against blindness. Not that that comes up too many times. Yeah, red caps are as subtle as a thrown battle axe. It's a great quote, and that's the thing. It's like, wouldn't they be detected, found, and killed before the murder spree continues? In polite society, and if they weren't in polite society, where are they? Who are they killing to get all the blood to dip their hats into it? That is my curiosity. We got Valerie a new shield. We're up to AC 40, and she now has DR 5. Both of them have a -2 to base attack bonus, which is one of the reasons why Valerie doesn't hit so well. It's part of it being a tower shield. Tower shield. When employing a tower shield in combat, you take a -2 penalty on attack rolls because of a shield's encumbrance. It's a little bit of a disadvantage, but the main advantage is that, you know, she's walking around with 40 AC. And now 40 AC, and if this stacks, 5 DR. I don't think it mitigates it too much. Oh no, yeah, it mitigates it a little bit. The Tower Shield Specialist Focus is a +2 bonus. And so yeah, it mitigates it a little. The thing is, I mean, her first attack at a 19 is fairly substantial bonus. I'm at a 14. My main benefit is the fact that I'm always trying to get into flanking, which gives me a +4, bringing that up to an 18. I get 4 to 5 attacks around, depending on if haste is going. She's pretty solid all around. The main disadvantage for her is that she doesn't get to wield some of the bigger weapons, and or, you know, I'm focusing mainly on the Constitution because I prefer people to hit her than anybody else. I mean, she's 4 hit points away from 200 hit points. I'm thinking of squeezing Tower Shields into my 5e game as homebrew for a party tank. What kind of pro-con do they met you in Pathfinder? Well, Right. I don't... Harem's got a shield. Harem's only got a buckler. See, there's bucklers, there's shields, there's tower shields. A buckler at its base is a +1. A tower shield at its base is a +4. I think the normal shields, unless there's a small and a large, not sure, would be a +2, maybe a +3. For homebrewing a tower shield into 5e, I'd be tempted to give it the +4 rather than the +2 of your standard, and then your base attack bonus will want to go down in lieu of. If you don't want to adjust the base attack bonus, I'm not sure. I mean, one of the disadvantages of the tower shield and all of this is like we're thinking of weight. Going back to weight, it's like the armor she's wearing is 50 pounds. The tower shield she's wielding is 45 pounds, which without the hat means she gets negative penalties to all of this. You know, the mobility, athletics, stealth, speed, max dex bonus, and armor check penalty, armor check excluding shield, all go down by 3, and speed by 10 feet. Which means it's difficult to get her into position. With that, with the hat, it's slightly better, but it is a, you know, I would have preferred to have put this helmet onto Valerie to get the AC up to a 42. The only problem is the strength factor is crucial there. Bringing into, bringing in alignment of the shield is possible. I'm not saying that it's not the thing to do. Fine hide, stinking cloud, blah blah blah. Note with orders. Clarify situation with supplies. Report at 9 o'clock. Check on sick prisoner. If symptoms grow worse, come find me and the prison healer. At midnight, change guard at forbidden cell. Attention. Changing of the guard should be conducted in the presence of additional wardens. Under no circumstances is a prisoner to be unsupervised.
In due time.
The only reason why I say that it's a maybe when it comes to 5th edition is quite simply, you know, one of the major selling points of 5th edition is the lack of complexity it has.
Let yourself open.
And then it explodes.
Let's try this way.
By adding in alignment of shields, because I don't, you know, not even Pathfinder itself did shields and aligning, I don't think. You could have it that it's a bonus action to align the shield to a target, and it's like... If... You know, you move up, you attack somebody and say, I raise my shield to align it to that target. And that against that target,
Focus
you get an additional +2 bonus on top of your usual +2 bonuses. Oh look, more mimics. Haven't seen one in 12 levels. All of a sudden, they're all over the show.
Do not falter.
Yeah, about the only other thing that I've seen people do with oversized shields is
This should do it.
allowing it to be planted.
A calculated risk.
Because it's one of the traditional warfare tactics of shield combat. It's all like you have a shield and you just all like dig it into the ground, and then you can sort of like release your hands from it and do things. Also, I've heard. I'm trying to remember if I know anything about that. I don't off the top of my head. The only thing, if that's the case, I'm just checking the player's handbook, would be I would consider allowing it to be so like bonus action plant the shield. I think I read that about that in Pathfinder. Plant the shield and you get total cover or some such. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say total cover. It'd be. I'm trying to. In Pathfinder, you've got soft cover, cover, and improved cover, and total cover. Total cover basically means there is no line of sight between you and the enemy. So if somebody plants a shield and it provides them total cover, then no, you're just not allowed to shoot at them because there's no way that you can hit them. That's total cover. When it comes to the other kinds, it's not soft cover because that implies squishy people being between you and them. Cover. C-O-V. C-O. Cover 196. At 196, it will tell me that. Say cover. You've got half cover, 3/4 cover, and total cover. I would suggest, one of the things that you could do is like as a bonus action, you can plant the shield. And then you can actually draw a line on the map and say this is where the shield is. If the enemy is one side of the shield and you're the other side of it, you get half cover. +2 bonus to AC and dex saving throws. I think it'd be a little excessive if you gave it 3/4 cover, which is a +5 bonus to AC and dex saving throws. And again, total cover is the same. It can't be targeted directly by spell or attack, although some spells can reach such targets, including area of effect. Then, if the player wanted to move and take the shield with them, for whatever reason, they need to spend a bonus action to pick it back up again. And why did I not remember that from the other room? Excuse me. That's one thing that I think I've seen happen is the planting and the pulling up of, and also to a certain degree that allows. It also depends on what penalties are applied for carrying such items. Weight, movement reduction, and I didn't realize this until this session. It also affected their attack also. I mean, that's how it works in Pathfinder, but one of the things that you've got to realize that in Pathfinder, my attack bonus is 15. We're not even at level 20 yet. So when somebody knocks 2 off of it, it's not that big of a deal. When it comes to D&D, at level 1, having a -2 on your attack roll because you decided to go for a tower shield is a major impact, because it's going to take you the best part of magical items or 8 levels to negate that penalty. Whereas in Pathfinder, it'll be 2 levels to negate the penalty. Of course, the bad guys get stronger. It's got a much finer granularity. So I wouldn't be in the mood to do that. And one of the things that I will, going back to the whole planting, I had this idea, is it also then allows for bonuses to be moved around a little bit. You plant the shield, but you could step to one side and drag somebody else into the cover and be like, you stay there. And then that shield bonus is then provided to somebody else. They're not trained in using the shield, so they only get a +2 bonus to it. But if you're the guy who planted it and you're trained in shields, you get a +4 bonus because you're wielding a shield and using it for cover. That's a random idea. But no, I think having a bonus action to align the shield, I mean, I'm not entirely sure then it's worth actually introducing a variant on the shield.
My search was not in vain.
Because yes, the weight is a factor. Right. Okay, great stuff. Come all this way around, and I have no idea. This door has a rusted lock that was broken recently. I mean, this magic circle was created to maintain a spell. Someone has wiped away some of the inscriptions recently. I mean, I'm starting to get a picture. I'm not sure if I like where the signs are pointing to. Did I miss a door here? I missed a door over here. Because one of the things about introducing the shower shield is like, why can't why not introduce a feat like a line shield, or something like that allows you to align your shield and gives you a bit of a bonus if you spend a bonus action to align the shield. The fact that it's an item really would help shift it around, as it were. Ah, hello, Tristan.
Pathetic creature. Tell me, is there any reason I should not torture you for your apostasy?
You persuaded Tristan to destroy the Oculus of Abaddon. Waves of anger stream from the nymph in the central room. The nymph raises her hand menacingly, whether to strike or cast a spell, you cannot tell. Tristan, despite the angry words of the nymph, seems oblivious to his surroundings. His face is pale and turned upwards. Beads of sweat glint on his forehead. His lips move, as if reciting a prayer. Merciful Samurai, hear my prayer, burn my heart. Your faithful servant calls to you. Heed my prayers, Samurai. I beg you, hear me. Merciful Samurai, heed my prayer. Burn my heart, purify me by your fire, save me from evil. And then it repeats, I think. Yeah.
What happened to you, my Skylark? Your heart couldn't bear my anger. So be it. I was bored with your songs anyway. Perhaps the snapping of your bones shall entertain me.
That's a wrong heart for Tristan. His pace is fair with betrayal and drips of treacherous sweat drip down his lying cheeks. I mean, that's quite a take, J-Station. I do have to wonder, you know, I'm sensing some repressed issues here. The nymph stares at Tristan for a long moment, then instead of striking her hand, reaches out and clasps his face, turning to meet his gaze. The nymph's voice is sharp and sickly sweet. She raises her hand over Tristan's head once again, then stops as she suddenly notices you.
We have guests. A hound following my Skylark's trail. You have done well. You've uncovered my old sanctuary, but it is one I shall never return to again. So, now that you are here, what do you intend to do?
Our paths have crossed again. Perhaps this time you'll finally tell me who you are. I mean, I'm tempted to go with the chaotic good. I know that I'm supposed to be lawful though, but I don't like the fact that she's... I mean, to be fair, it's actually closer to like 2 years ago now that she invited me here. What did the defaced sisters of the Numenera barbarians seek in Dunswood? So that's a good question. Don't touch Tristan.
Now, we both know the Skylark belongs to me. Just as a butterfly belongs to the day it's born and the day it's destined to die.
So it was you who sent Tristan to me.
Oh, and Saren Ray's messenger was a great servant, wasn't he? Deformed by reflection in 1,000 mirrors, fallen into shadows born of his own light, a righteous diva with blood-stained hands. What is it? Do I really see a surprised expression on your face? Can it be you still don't understand?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's I don't understand what's going on here.
Tristan was the proud servant of Saren Ray herself, the personification of kindness and mercy. After I caught him in my nets, I couldn't resist the urge to take his wings, so that he might sing for me and me alone. As he followed you, he spoke with me in his dreams, his true mistress. Now he's done as I asked, I could let him go. But I don't like to share my toys, even if they are broken.
I'm not your hound. Watch your tongue.
You dare challenge your mistress? The one who has shown the way to hundreds, thousands of creatures such as you. Filthy beasts who don't even know the face of their queen. You are my faithful hound, and Tristian is my silver-tongued skylark. Both of you serve my will, so how should I call you if not by your true names?
I mean, yeah, there's two sets of iron golems. I think they are not animated armor, but I mean, I'll take either at this stage, seeing as though I know the command words to get them, well, on my side. What did the Face Sisters of the Numenera Barbarian seek in Dunswood?
An ancient power awakened in the mountains. A power capable of revealing that which was taken from me. By my order, the sisters scoured the land for the Oculus. My wolf cub sent his barbarians to help them. But you outpaced all my servants. All but one. When a seed falls upon fertile ground, it bears fruit for the landowner to harvest. The seed of betrayal grew strong, and I reaped its fruits.
I mean, I still don't feel betrayed by Tristan. I think that's one of my problems here. Is Tristan smashed the Oculus of Abaddon, which is a prize from a prince of the apocalypse. So it's pretty bad thing. He helped me kill the Cyclops King, Emperor, whatever he was. Nothing in any of that suggests to me that he's the bad guy. Okay, so he had an ulterior motive that I wasn't privy to. Feels a little bit like he didn't trust me. He could have told me. But betrayal is not quite exactly how I would describe that. So, I don't know. Did I miss some sub plot here? I don't know. I'll pass across again. Perhaps this time you'll finally tell me who you are.
You're trying so hard to glimpse into my soul. Are you not afraid of what you might find? Very well, have it your way, Hound. I'll share a little part of my darkness and my pain with you. I'll share with you my name. I am Nyrissa.
The nymph straightens and her gaze locks with you. At the name, an echo rolls across the room like a wave. That told me nothing. I think. Strike him down with all your hate and your journey to Baron will be complete. Use your aggressive feeling, Chiron. I mean, no. Why are you telling
In
me this?
you, I see my reflection. But no, that's utter nonsense. How can one such as I, even for a single moment, feel kinship with a creature born to become dust in my apology cup? You are but a toy, a mere hound, a useful tool, no more. Your world is but a shadow of my home plane. I am the first and forever queen of these lands, and this sanctuary is where whispers of the past live, and where I planted the seeds of the future. Here, I raised a wolf cub, who eventually became the feared leader of Numeria. I watched him rise to power, butchering any who stood against him. And from this place, I shall hear of his fall, the last howl of a dying animal.
I mean, you're whacked out crazy, I'll give you that. But, okay.
Now, a hound comes to replace the wolf cub. Should I crush your skull and watch your life bleed from your body? Perhaps. But wouldn't it be more fun to observe whom you chase next? Whatever you choose, you'd be serving me. Like the skylark. Like the wolf cub. Like all who place their trust in the illusion of freedom.
Could this be the real you? I've seen another version of you, proud and broken, and never so cruel.
You've seen nothing and you know nothing. My past is a fire that blinds those who stare. I've left it behind and accepted the fate that was designed for me. Farewell, my faithful hound. Someone will take care of you.
I mean, she's got the evil monologue skills down, that's for certain, but she's a little bit tapped in the head, if you ask me. A little bit crazy, and also she thinks she's in control of the situation. I'm pretty sure she's not.
It was you. You robbed my sister of hope. You prolonged her suffering and our suffering as well. For that, you'll die.
I mean, what? I mean, I've killed a few of you now. I have met others like you. Tell me, who are you?
An emissary from the first world.
Oh, okay.
A servant to the power that came to these swamps against her will. My duty is a heavy one, but I bear it without faltering. I shall not bow. Not before destiny, not before my enemies, and not before creatures such as you.
I came for Tristan. Give him to me, and we'll go our separate ways.
I won't do that. Besides, why would you need someone who lied to you every step of the way, concealing his true goals and his true self? Look at him. Did you know he was once one of my kind? A creature from the outer planes? Now all that remains of the sacred servant of Saren Ray is a husk.
Yes, but he is my friend, so I'd like him returned.
Why do we want to save him? He is our friend, that's why.
I mean, I literally just said that, Octavia, but okay. We are not like you, heartless Fae. As Nithis is my witness, Tristan is not my friend and never will be, but leaving him in your hands is inhuman. Tristan, can you hear me? Wake up! The cleric of Serenray doesn't even turn toward you. He's immersed in desperate prayer to his goddess.
Save your breath. This skylark has broken his wings, and now he's useless. I'll rid myself of him after I've finished with you.
Enough. Tell me where Ninarissa go.
She left. Where and why is not your concern. I remained only to remove any trace of her and her servants left behind. You see, these lands were our home long before you appeared. These walls witnessed another mortal who, like you, serves Nerissa's goals now. We taught him. We showed him the way. We told him what to believe and whom to serve. My elder sister, Nerissa. She is the mistress of half-truths, exploiting hopes and weaknesses of others with her words. All it took to control Armagh was some books and legends about his great destiny. All it took to control Tristan was deceiving him into thinking it was Nerissa who deprived him of his holy gift. She who cursed him with a mortal body.
Lies. So that was all lies?
Hey, they got the artwork for Tristan right now. As if awakened from a nightmare, Tristan winces and raises his head.
And all it took to control you, upstart Baron, was a lure. The promise of your own lands to rule. And you bought it. All of you. Enough. You are a thing of the past, and I must rid this place of you, and Tristian. Get ready for oblivion!
Oh, prepare to die. Tristan, you're not in a good place.
Cool it.
Not quite what I wanted, damn it, Tristan. I think it's about time to break out some of this.
Let's try this way.
My golem's bigger than your golems. Acid pit isn't ready yet. Spiked pit. Spiked pit. Wow. God damn it. Oh, well, that's just rude. I know, haste is still going. Oh, that's the one you got rid of. You got rid of bears and endurance on some people. And haste off other people, maybe. I don't know. Okay, I mean, you did some stuff. Congratulations. See how powerful your mind is. Yeah, you succeeded. Surprise! Not bad. Octavia! Let's have a bless. doesn't hurt. Harm. Let's try this once more. Oh my word.
Cool off.
Damn it. Pinned out, magic missile. That didn't do anything for me.
Onward!
Taste my beauty.
I mean, did you really think that was going to bother me?
Considering provoked.
Repent.
I think the main threat of this is over. Oh, he finally crawled out of it all.
Stay behind me!
So I just make you sick when it's a critical hit and it deals 12 points of damage. It's a normal hit and it's 15 points of damage.
This should do it.
Thank you. Next. I do hope Tristan's okay. Oh, did not want to do that. Oh, shellspot.
Your life ebbs low.
This is going to hurt. You deserved it.
Well, I'm sorry I'm being quiet at the moment. It's just I'm trying to concentrate on this battle, but you know I can do some stuff on automatic pilot. Greetings and salutations. I am Karen Rossmore, and this is my playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker.
This will hurt.
I have no idea where I'm up to in the plot. It's been 50 sessions already. But if you're liking what I'm doing here and you want to see more of it, I do stream every Tuesday and Thursday, Pathfinder Kingmaker. I also stream other games on Mondays and Fridays. Feel free to check my schedule below for what games I play and when it is in your local time zone. I have plans for bringing a Discord server into the works. The end of the plot, Tristan was the betrayer, is the BBEG. I do wish you'd stop insisting on him being the BBEG. He is not a bad guy. He was lied to and he fell for those lies. But he was not a bad person. I'm still not convinced that he's a bad person. Did I see the body come up? I don't think I did. Oh no, the body is. This is always a fun thing, trying to wait until these things wear out. Oh no. Hey, we can actually hit it. Everybody who's got range attacks, hit it. Anybody who's melee, stay back.
Cool it.
I'm playing a lawful good Blade Master Rogue, which is it's interesting to say the least because it's certainly he fell back down the hole. One of the interesting things is that, like, you know, the game certainly does have consequences when you make lawful good choices. You know, there's a couple of companion NPCs that, well, there's one companion NPC that I've lost entirely. Even if I did change my mind and decide, yes, I'll start playing this from a neutral point of view. That just quite simply isn't an option to get him anymore because I exiled him from my lands on the grounds of lawful good.
Let me tell you something before you decide my fate. Nyrissa is gone. She cannot keep me silent any longer.
I mean, I've already decided your fate.
I'm tired of lies and deception. Our meeting wasn't a coincidence. It was Nyrissa who sent me to the Temple of the Elk. She conjured that fog and sent Jod a version of the place. Since then, I've been watching you, waiting for a time to act. For Nyrissa.
He just misspoke. He said a version of the place, not a vision of the place. It's the first time I've ever noticed a typo in speech.
But that's not all. I helped her create and plant the unwilting flower that almost destroyed your barony. As you can see, everything that happened in Mordecai's tomb was but one of my many crimes. That is all. Deal with me however you think best.
Yeah, this isn't J-Station. This isn't an audience participation moment. I am not going to be taking off his head. Tristan, who are you?
I am a Deva. Once a sacred servant and messenger of Sarenrae herself. Once it was my calling to heed mortals' prayers and to deliver them to other servants of the goddess. That was before I fell into a trap set by Nyrissa. She took from me my powers and severed my bond with my goddess. At least, that's what I had thought. Nyrissa threatened that if I didn't serve her, she'd never return my wings, and I'd never speak to Sarenrae again. She made me. I'm lying to you again. If it wasn't for my cowardice, Nyrissa would never have broken me to her will. But I was afraid to remain mortal.
Poor you. It must have been so hard. It's worse than slavery.
Not quite sure where Octavia's inflection was there. That sounded tremendously sarcastic. What happens if we all ask the same thing? I don't... Look, I am not allowing you guys to bully Tristan like this, okay? I don't care what chat wants. This is my game and I'm playing it my way. No. That said, you know, it's good to have you all around. Your input is valid and I'm listening. It's just, I have made a choice. And it is not to chop Tristan's head off. But yeah, that was full-blown sarcasm from Octavia. And it was like, not just a follower of Senrai, but her celestial messenger. And not just a hypocrite, but a traitor. Guilty of taking many innocent lives. Now I see my heart was right. It told me to keep away from you. Who is Nerissa?
A nymph. One of the most beautiful of all creatures. Most wicked of all monsters. But who she is, what she wants, I do not know. I ran across her while traveling through the negative energy plane. A strange wound, like something had pierced time and space. In my pride, confident in my powers, I followed its path to this world. She dealt with me in a heartbeat. Before I could flee, she had entrapped me, filling my mind with horrible nightmares. And when I awoke, I was mortal. I had no choice. No choice at all.
Tell me about Nerissa's search for the Oculus.
Nerissa discovered an ancient power awakening beneath the tors of Lebanese. She knew of Mordecai, and she also knew of the Oculus. What she did not know is the location of his tomb. The defaced sisters and the Numerian barbarians serving them were dispatched to search for the tomb's entrance. But you found it first, and you would have acquired the Oculus if it were not for me.
Why did Nerissa want the Oculus of Abanon?
I don't know. After I failed her, after I failed to destroy you, she became angry with me. The only way to regain her favor was to find the Oculus of Abaddon and bring it to her. I don't know why she wants it. Only that she will destroy anything in her path to possess it, including you. I beg you, be careful. She never forgets any who dare challenge her.
The sister mentioned some lies about your sacred gift and mortal body.
When I awaked from Nerissa's enchantments, I was mortal, no longer a deva. Nerissa said she'd taken my gift of immortality and severed my bond with my goddess. But, according to what the sister said, I don't understand what's true anymore and what is not. Before this, I thought Nerissa stood between me and Serenray. But it seems like she was lying.
What is this ever-blooming flower you're talking about?
This was Nerissa's creation. A strange plant with seeds that bring death to the mortals and open gates to the first world. I don't know much else. All I've done was use my knowledge of the planes to root the flower in two worlds simultaneously. What Nerissa did was deplorable. But I am not blameless. Serenray as my witness. I didn't want it to happen as it did. But in my fear of losing her divine light, my resolve crumbled. So I did what I was ordered to do.
Those cultists from the Kingdom of the Clanged who tried to kill me, were you involved in that too?
Partly. Nerissa charmed the first faithful. Promised him and all his followers a paradise in exchange for your head. My job was to lure you to the trap. But Nerissa ordered me only to lure you to the trap. She never forbade me to protect you. That's why I fought by your side in that battle.
I have made up my mind about what to do with you. It seems that It seems to you that a shadow of fear crosses Tristan's face, but he keeps silent.
Only you can decide, but I'd never be able to trust a traitor. Never.
We saved him from a smug-faced sorceress of the First World. We helped him figure out the truth. We don't owe him anything. Let him go his way. No more suffering. You're forgiven, Tristan.
Thank you. I'll leave you and head for the city. A walk will help me to figure out how I can make amends for everything.
I actually expected his betrayal to be less conscious than this, like mind control or some such. Surprised he was actually working against you in some places. I mean, one of the things about, you know, we got 10 minutes. We're probably going to call this here while we digest this. Because I do want to break this down a little bit. Because
would be nice.
where I feel for Tristan and totally get where he's coming from. And this might be already something you all understand. But I feel that it's one of the things in D&D and Pathfinder is these whole mind control spells. But one of the things is in real life we don't actually have mind control in the magical sense. But you can mess people up by taking away what they truly hold dear, by denying them that, whether it's through magical means or mundane, and then you tell them that they need to do something, or you're going to take it away even more, or deny it them forever, or something along them lines. That is no more real or no less real than something that has been done by magic. And it's actually a much better, greater degree of control to convince somebody without magical means. You know, when it comes to magic, there's always usually some period of time. You know, I think there's some long duration things like Gaius, which I think last for a year in D&D. I think it's a year. Or it's certainly a long time. There's G in the alphabet. Gaius. 30 days. No, when you cast this using a spell slot of 7 for 9th, 7 for 8th, the duration is a year. When you cast a spell using a 9th level, the spell lasts until ended by one of the spells mentioned above, which is Remove Curse, Greater Restoration, or Wish to end it. So yeah, okay, if it was cast by a 9th level, then you don't have to worry about it expiring. But if you didn't have the ability to cast it at 9th, you only had the ability to cast it at 6th. You've got 30 days until you have to make sure that you have a chance to renew it. If you manage to break somebody's mind through non-magical means, it is a lot easier to trust in that. Because when somebody's broken like that, there's nothing anybody can do realistically to convince them otherwise. And without absolute dedication to forgiving them and trying to understand them and trying to, I don't know, re-brainwash them after a fact. It's like, yes, there are people like this in the world, but again, you know, it's one of them where it's like, she's come along and said, oh yes, I have turned you into a mortal and I have severed your connection to your goddess. You obey me now or I will never return it. That is powerful. The lies that were mentioned, there's a potential that it wasn't her that severed the connection. I get the feeling that Tristan's got a bit of broken faith to him, where it's like he truly believed in the power of Serenray as a deva under her will, as it were. He should be as powerful as he needs to be to do the job. He went in, he tried to do something, and it failed. That potentially would have shook his resolve and absolute faith in his goddess. Thus, lessening the powers of them, because, you know, from a cleric point of view in fantasy games, it's like if you stop believing in your god, you're no different than any mortal person, because you're no longer praying to them, you're no longer believing in their powers, therefore you can't do squat. When a deva, which I do believe is some form of angel, starts losing faith in their god, they stop existing. And this lack of existence is potentially the step down to making him mortal. Narissa recognized this and chose to manipulate him, not through magical means, but just mentally. It's like, you know, I've done this. I've taken your power away from you. I've severed the connection. And if you ever want that back, then you're going to have to appease me. The cowardice that Tristan is portraying is not one of, you know, it is one of genuine fear, you know, to be connected to a higher being and then suddenly severed from that, whether by that higher being's choice or magical means or lack of faith, is a disturbing one. You've been left on your own for the first time since creation. You would probably be willing to do whatever it takes to get that back. Even if it is betraying somebody who you even hold dear. Because that relationship, especially if you were immortal, is only ever going to be transitory if you regain your immortality. So no, I get where Tristan has come from. And at this moment in time, the only way that I feel that I can do the good thing, and screw the lawful thing for the moment, Because, you know, one of the things is I'm lawful good, and the only options that they gave me was lawful neutral and neutral good. The only way to help him out for the greater good is to forgive him no matter what he's done. And further to the point, in tying that in with the plot, that is precisely the way of Sarenrae, is you can do something terrible, but as long as you feel remorse for it, then there is the scope for forgiveness, and ultimately that in that forgiveness, redemption. If there is no remorse, then the only way to redeem somebody is to make an appointment with their maker. And the only way you make appointments is through killing somebody. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if Tristan is ultimately going to betray me again. You know, for me, there was also a very deep matter of confusion. It's like everybody was running around saying that he was the betrayer, and it's like up until Tristan actually explaining everything to me about his hand in all of this, it's like I didn't actually know what he betrayed me for. It's like he was keeping some stuff back, but at the same token, it's like we went to the tomb. The Oculus of Abaddon is a bad thing. Tristan destroyed it. So where's the betrayal? Oh, he ran off. Okay, well that basically means he's got some unfinished business elsewhere. I failed to see where the betrayal was. When he outlined it like that, the reasons for his betrayal make sense. But I still feel that it's Nerissa pulling the strings and that the betrayal wasn't Tristan's fault to begin with. I am now super curious to find out if you named anybody as... Because one of the questions while in the Tomb of Mordecai was like, who here do you call friend? And I named Tristan. And he's the one who betrayed me. Very curious to see what happens if I named somebody like Amrine, Valerie. I can see where Octavia's plot would potentially go. You know, for Octavia, the obvious plot would be that Nerissa gave her the means and abilities to survive, and as being part of that part of the world of Numeria, it's like, yeah, I can see where Nerissa's involvement in that would be. Valerie? Again, it's I can't see where the betrayal would be, but I'd be very curious to know how the narrative's supposed to go if that's who you've named as your friend and ultimately get betrayed by. I don't know. Even despite the fact this is 50 sessions in, and next week will mark a good half year of playing this. Actually slightly longer, but just about half a year. Because there was a couple of weeks, there was a week shortly after I started streaming where I was like, I cannot stream this week because I'm not feeling too well, and there's been 1 or 2 sessions that I've missed in the meantime, I believe. Yeah, he had very much just run off until he laid out all that out. He had actually been betraying you, but your character's pals were already happily calling him a betrayer. Yeah, that felt a little bit heavy-handed. It's all like, oh, he's a betrayer. Why? Why is he the betrayer? Because he's the betrayer. It's all like, that doesn't make any sense. I suppose to a certain degree, you know, thinking about if anybody can betray you, then it has to be so like, oh, they betrayed you. But why? Because they did. They don't want to give too much away in that little narrative there. I feel that they could have done it a little bit better in terms of, so like, to be fair, we all know you're supposed to forgive / redeem him. I mean, no. I disagree there. You have choices. I mean, the more narratively interesting choice, from my perspective, is to forgive him and help him on the path of redemption. That's where you're still part of a story. You could, at that point, you know, there was 3 options there. 4 options there, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them would just basically exile and kill him, and the other option I can't remember off the top of my head, but it certainly wasn't down the lines of forgiveness. You're free to make those choices. The narrative of the story is going to be interesting, and, you know, to a certain degree, depending on what happens and where everything fits into the narrative, it'd be interesting to see if he was yeah, the Route 1 hero path is redemption and forgiveness, because, you know, that's what heroes do, and ultimately it pays off for them. But at the same token, you know, from the narrative point of view, how he now fits into the rest of the story and how his redemption comes about will be interesting, as would be how does the rest of the story progress if not for his redemption. He's, you know, let's say that we killed him and he's no longer around. How is Nerissa going to react when she sees that, yes, we killed him and he's no longer in the party? Versus how will she react wherein we turn up and he is in our party? I don't know how deep they've delved into it. It could be that it now becomes a bit of a side arc and isn't a main part of the narrative. That's an entirely possible avenue that this could go down. But we'll have to see. Gonna close out the stream now. Let me see who else is online. But while Twitch loads up to let me know who else is streaming, let's go over the usual blurb. I'm Kyron Russmore. If you're new here, don't forget to give us a follow to get notifications of when I next go live. I will be back on Thursday playing more Pathfinder Kingmaker. I also game on Mondays playing Cyberpunk 2077 and Fridays playing Hitman 3. Hitman 3, I do believe. Yes, oh, Josh is right. Thank you for reminding me. Jeez, I can't believe I nearly forgot. Friday, before I forget, Hitman on Friday, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, will be the start of the elusive targets. So that's you have one shot at this. If you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed. So it's a bit high stakes. So that should be an interesting watch as far as I'm concerned. I believe. I could be wrong. I'll let you know Friday. When I load it up and there isn't an elusive target, or if I load it up and there is. And yeah, Josh is right. My usual schedule for Thursdays has been a 9 p.m. GMT start. This week I am changing that to an 8 p.m. Start, and that's how it will be going forward. I've updated it in the schedule, and you'll get the notifications wherever you usually get the notifications that I've gone live and I've started. But yeah, just as a bit of an aside, there is a time change on that. And that just about covers it. If you're also new here and you want to catch up on the plot, like Josh is watching Twitch, you can actually go over to my YouTube. It's mentioned in chat a few places, but I think if I do this, it'll pop it up again. Hey, there we go. And I've got a complete playlist of my Pathfinder playthrough to date. We are now going to close off the stream and raid Hearthsinger Games. With my friend, which will be hosted by Anne Richmond, a friend of mine. She is doing prep on D&D. She takes questions from chat. She responds to questions in chat. And if nothing else, it's interesting to delve into the mind of how somebody else preps. I believe that's what she's doing today. I can't quite remember her schedule. I struggle to remember my own. But yes, all being well, this Thursday coming up, the 8 o'clock start, and hope to see you all there. Tidy bye.